at dinner and want to welcome you to this special night. Again, thanks for coming, but thanks for nominating your friend or family member. These are just great people in our community. You know, we get the chance in the news business to profile a lot of great people in this town, and we're pretty fortunate to live in a community we do, because there are a lot of you doing great things, and it's a pleasure to tell your stories. There are some past nominees here. Would you just please stand? I'm not going to rattle your names off, but would you please stand if you're a past nominee so we can recognize you? So I'll read the nominee bios. If you're able, you can stand during your bio, or if you just want to stand at the end, that's fine too. Nominee Keith Ockery. Keith grew up on a farm and attended North Dakota State University to study ag education. He taught farm management in Bottineau, Ada, and Ortonville, but got out of full-time teaching in 1979. He had about 40 dairy cattle. God bless you, Keith. 40 dairy cattle, that's work. And that was near Holly. And he was also processing 1,000 pigs every 7 weeks. While growing up, Keith was active in 4-H and FFA, and he took his love for ag into adulthood. Among the avenues he has used to share his passion include serving on the board at Land O'Lakes, Breakfast on the Farm, which now serves 3,500 people, steam threshers at Rolog, and the Holly Rodeo. Through Farm Bureau, he's been involved in promoting agriculture to young people by creating the Living Ag Classroom in Cass County, and also farm visits for elementary age students in Clay County. Keith's father was a farmer whose life work Keith admired. A VO ag instructor guided him into education. Becoming a farmer, he says, is the most rewarding achievement. It's satisfying to have the support of his wife and family, 3 children, in doing what they desire to do. Nominee Keith Ockery. Nominee Jackie Anderson. Yes. Oh, a tech fix? Oh,
Married
gotcha.
almost 49 years. Over 49 years, almost 50 years. And I nominated Keith because he is one husband who never gives up. He's always busy. He likes to keep active, and he is active in the community as well as Lions. He is loved by the community. We all think he is a very special person, and having this hope that I've had doesn't help with the tears, but there would probably be tears anyway, because he's just the kind of person that everybody loves, and I love him too.
That is special. Nominee Jackie Anderson. Jackie earned a bachelor's degree in art education at Minnesota State University, Moorhead. She taught art in Fargo Public Schools for 27 years, several elementary schools at Ben Franklin and North High. Jackie also taught algebra to 75 students in the Individual Learning Center. She was in charge of junior high age students in the Work Experience Career Experience program, teaching social and practical skills in the workforce, wages, expectations, and how to be successful in a work environment. She judges student art shows for the Fargo Public Schools, teaches oil painting for Fargo Community Ed, teaches watercolor painting for Moorhead Community Ed, and then offers private lessons. She's a founder and board member of Gallery 4, a board member of the Red River Watercolor Society, past board member of Fargo Moorhead Visual Arts, founder and board member of Alpha Delta Kappa, and also an election judge. She's volunteered at Bethany Retirement Living and is involved in a variety of art shows, competitions, and exhibits. Her most rewarding achievement, getting her motorcycle license. She says, everyone I meet touches my life in some way. Nominee Jackie Anderson.
is Jackie, and I nominated Jackie Anderson. Her impact on the community and other artists has been huge. She's a powerhouse at 84. She has pretty much dedicated her entire adult life to education and the arts. I mean, even though, especially in these past few years, she's had some health issues, never does she deny a chance to help somebody with their art. Lots of free art lessons that people come to her. She helps them with shows. Anything you need, Jackie will do it. Jackie, you are the best of the best, and I am so blessed to have you in my life. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Nominee Joan Bachman. Joan graduated from Litchfield High School, earned her registered nurse certification from Mercy Hospital in Valley City, and her bachelor's degree from Regis College in Denver. She began her health career as a nurse at Mercy Hospital. She went to work for Lutheran Hospitals and Home Society, serving in administrative roles in Sterling, Colorado and Lisbon, North Dakota. Joan then served as administrator at Griggs County Hospital and Nursing Home in Cooperstown before moving to Pierre, South Dakota to serve as a department administrator with the South Dakota Department of Health. She returned to North Dakota as administrator at Tri-County Retirement and Nursing Home in Hatton until her retirement. During her official work experience, she also was owner, trainer, consultant, and administrator with Options Unlimited, a rural health consulting firm. Now retired to Fargo, much of her energy is directed toward helping disadvantaged people, making life better for themselves. Among her volunteer activities are Native American Center, People's Diversity Forum, and Regroup. Joan is a recovery coach, helped develop a community garden, works with the local Liberian community, helps with cultural diversity resources, Multicultural Alliance, and is a member of the Human Services Advisory Board of Cass County. She claims to be a human doing, not a human being. Nominee Joan Bachman.
My name is Alan Peterson, and the reason that I nominate Joan for the award is that she's very well qualified. She has a lifetime of service as a nurse and as a volunteer, particularly to people who are new Americans. She is very kind, very generous with her time. She looks at this as a way to make a difference, and she does. She definitely makes a difference. You are a great example to others, Joan, and it's a real pleasure and an honor to know you.
Nominee John Bartholomew. John grew up in Leonard with 14 siblings. He farmed for a couple of years until he heard Northwestern Bell was looking for people. John worked for a short time on the cable crew in Pillsbury, North Dakota, before the Army came calling. He was drafted and spent a 2-year stint working communications around Busan, Korea. He returned to his old job with the phone company and spent a 35-year career with them, stationed in and around Grand Forks, Larimore, the Grand Forks Air Force Base, and Williston. After retiring during the breakup of the phone company, John became involved with the Telephone Pioneers. Among their projects were talking books, beep balls for the School for the Blind, and youth education. Now actively involved in the Telephone Museum at Bonanzaville, John helps maintain the working phone system around the park and assists with Santa's workshop during Christmas on the Prairie. John is proud to have gotten where he has without advanced education. He says everything he does has been satisfying. His most rewarding achievement is teaching young people and teachers about how telecommunications works, its history and equipment. He thoroughly enjoys meeting visitors from different countries. Nominee John Bartholomew.
I'm Brenda Anderson, and I nominated my dad, John Bartholomew, for the award of Senior of the Year. The reason I nominated my dad for this award is that he does everything in his volunteer work is done very quietly, not wanting a lot of attention brought to him. Very humbled by this, and I think that he's deserving of it because of that. He just does things for people, and sometimes people don't even realize how much he's done. Dad, we love you, and we hope that this nomination will get you the #1 spot, but we're very proud of you and proud of everything that you've done throughout your life. It's not too many people that at 94 are still volunteering every day.
Nominee Corrine Churchill. Corrine wanted to teach since she and her sister played school as kids. She graduated from then Moorhead State College and began teaching in Elbow Lake, Minnesota. She spent her entire career in the classroom, retiring at 65, but she wasn't done. The school called her back to teach elementary and coach speech. She moved to West Fargo in 2012 and wanted to continue teaching, so Corrine became a long-term substitute in Moorhead and DGF. After earning her North Dakota license, she then taught at Bennett Elementary in Fargo and at South Elementary. Corrine reflected on the many rewards from teaching, making a difference in students' lives, having an impact on other teachers, adapting different ways to approach teaching and reaching students, and learning from fellow teachers. She found a unique way to fulfill her teacher role by helping special needs children in Sunday school at Hope Lutheran. Her family wasn't wealthy, but Corrine's mother wanted her to achieve her goals, so she worked through college. Her parents were excited that she wanted to teach, so they did what they could so she could achieve her dream. Her advice is to be a good example. Nominee, Corrine Churchill.
We are the Churchill daughters, Karen, Kayla, and Kathy, and we nominated our mom, Corrine Churchill, for this award for the education nomination. She has spent 60 years of her life serving out her passion and commitment to children as a teacher.
Thank you, Mom, for the example that you've provided not only to our family, but to the others in the community. You always show up and give your best to people. It doesn't matter your age or what kind of day you're having. You're always looking for ways to interact with people and to help them reach their full potential.
I would just like to say a huge thank you to Mom. She's a wonderful matriarch of our family and has given us so many good things that we can take on and spread to our children. So thanks, Mom. We love you.
I just want to say thank you to my mom for being such a great influence on myself and my sisters and to anyone that has gone into the field of education. And as I start my 25th year of teaching, I always think of you as just an example of being a good educator and an educator that our children deserve. So thank you for being an inspiration for me. Thank you for touching the lives of many children. And thank you for helping my own children and inspiring them as well. Thanks, Mom.
Nominee Steve Hubbard. Steve moved to Fargo as a child. He attended Fargo Public Schools and graduated from NDSU. He began working part-time in the reading room at the Carnegie Library in Fargo as a high school student. Steve continued working there, and as a shelver through college, he was offered a position in circulation. Currently, he serves patrons through the Public Service Desk, helping people get the most out of their library, engaging with the community, programming events such as music concerts, and providing services to the children's room. Steve manages the North Dakota collection of North Dakota authors, reference materials, and publications on North Dakota history. He achieves life balance by playing tennis, and he's played thousands of hours. He's made a lot of good friends and directed tournaments. He bikes, backpacks, plays recreational hockey, and cross-country skis. The loss of historical buildings, such as the Carnegie Library, is a special interest for Steve, and he's also part of the Fargo Heritage Society. Steve finds it rewarding to successfully provide service to people at the library, teaching how to research topics of interest. He credits his mother, an extraordinary, kind, loving, capable woman, and also a librarian, with guiding him into his career. Nominee Steve Hubbard.
My name is Beth Westmore and I work with the Fargo Public Library. I nominated my colleague Steve Hubbard for Senior Citizen of the Year because of his lifelong contributions to the library and to all the citizens that it serves. He has over 50 years of experience with us and is still active over age 70, contributing what he can to his community.
As someone who came into the state not knowing much about Fargo-Moorhead or about North Dakota and its history, he is a walking local history textbook. He has shared so much of what he knows from growing up here, from experiencing North Dakota history, has deep knowledge of the region and its people.
Nominee Joan Justison. Joan earned her nursing diploma from St. Andrew's Nursing School in Bottineau, her bachelor's in nursing, and her MBA from MSUM. She worked in obstetrics at then St. Luke's Hospital in Fargo and helped start the first neonatal unit in North Dakota. She spent more than 20 years as a practicing nurse before moving to hospital administration. Joan served as vice president and senior executive at Americare, accountable for direct patient care in all of Americare's North Dakota and Minnesota locations. She was also involved in initiating the palliative care and hospice unit. After retiring from Americare in 2007, Joan spent 4 years as vice president of marketing and the Alumni Foundation at MSUM. She then worked with Home Instead Senior Care, handling marketing and quality, and helped set up services for seniors. Joan was caregiver and advocate for several family members and friends. She now volunteers at Bethany on 42nd, spending time with residents and putting her nursing background to use, assisting employees. Joan has been involved with the FM Area Foundation, American Association of University Women, Fargo-Moorhead Opera, Nurses Association of Fargo-Moorhead, Kicks Jazz Band, the Fine Arts Club, and Plains Art Museum. Joan noted that what she has accomplished hasn't been on her own. She's always been part of a team. And if you look at her table, we're all good because you got a team of some of the best nurses in Fargo-Moorhead right there. A lot of those people responsible for what we know as the Children's Hospital today. So thank you all. Nominee Joan Justison.
My name is Paulette Amundsen. I live in Fargo here and I nominated Joan Justison. Her impact on people, I think, overall is just getting people involved. I would like to thank Joan for not only being a person that I look up to and involving me in the community events. She does listen to people to try to make sure that she's addressing what their needs are. But she also then, when those needs have been identified, she does something about them. She follows through to make sure some of their needs are addressed. So thank you, Joan, for being a good friend and a good supporter of the community.
Nominee Jim Kelly. Jim grew up in Valley City and attended Valley City State University. He intended to be a teacher and coach, but ended up working in the insurance industry for most of his career. He moved to West Fargo in 1977 and has had his hand in countless activities since. Jim is active at his church, volunteered in guest services at Sanford, Eagles Club, delivered Meals on Wheels for 14 years, and was named the Exchange Club Volunteer of the Year. His passion these days is the emergency food pantry, where Jim volunteers 4 afternoons every week, making sure those who need food have it available. He enjoys volunteering and says it's good to see people being good to people. In addition to his involvement in the community, he provides care for his wife, Mary. After his father passed away, his mother received Meals on Wheels, and Jim says it feels good that she was safe. That experience prompted Jim to do what he could to help others. He cherishes being able to have been a part of his children, and now grandchildren, growing up. For Jim, it's been an honor to have provided a good path for them. Nominee Jim Kelly.
My name is Mike Wilbur, and I nominated Jim Kelly because of the volunteerism that he does at the Emergency Food Bank in Fargo. I've known him a little bit from high school and college. We were together a couple years. I started out and volunteered at the food pantry myself, and saw him out there. We've been talking ever since out there and stuff, and just seeing how dedicated he is to that facility. And also he drives the what do you call it, the Meals on Wheels on Wednesdays. He's out driving that around town, so he spends a lot of hours in volunteering out there. His quality of really wanting to help people and stuff like that, he's a tremendous guy. I just hoping he gets this award and be well deserved.
Nominee, Frank Lensmeyer. Frank has been an active community member, working on behalf of seniors in West Fargo and across the community. He served on the board of Valley Senior Services and was a volunteer Meals on Wheels deliverer. Frank sought funding for a senior meal site, and the result was the West Fargo Area Community Program, where he currently serves as president. WFACP coordinates such activity as Bone Builders, North Dakota Senior Games, pickleball, SAIL Senior Exercise Program, the West Fargo Senior Lifestyle Expo, senior luncheons, and walk events. In city government, Frank served on the West Fargo City Commission and the Planning and Zoning Commission. He's been part of the Holy Cross Pastoral Council and was a team member on the capital campaign for the Crossway Center. His most rewarding achievement is securing support for the West Fargo seniors by that new meal site, with activities and working with Valley Senior Services to get vans on the street delivering meals. Frank is driven by helping seniors live a better life in our community. Nominee Frank Lensmeyer.
My name, you asked, is Kathleen Creighton. It was Kathleen Lensmeyer Creighton. I nominated Frank, who is Frank Richard Lensmeyer, brother, sister. A year younger, but still was a person that made you feel safe around large animals or big equipment. He has warmth. He has a ready smile. He has a gentle voice. He has very little judgment. He just doesn't let something go by without making it better. To have the chance to say to you how much I admire you, you already know how much I love you, but how much I admire what you are, what you've been to this family, what you've been to this community, what you've been to your family. There aren't the words, and I'm a woman who has lots of words, but you know.
Nominee, Prakash Matthew. Prakash grew up in India, and while attending an ag institute there, he met a minister from Fargo's First Presbyterian Church who invited him to come to North Dakota State University to study. There he learned that his strength was in interpersonal relationships, not soil. Prakash spent 38 years in student affairs, 34 of which were at NDSU. His tenure at NDSU included Residence Hall Director, Director of Residence Life, Associate Dean and Dean of Student Life, Vice President of Student Affairs, and Interim Director of Athletics, culminating as Vice President Emeritus of Student Affairs. Prakash provided leadership in the student affairs profession at the state, regional, and national levels. He mobilized NDSU students during the '97 flood in Fargo. Guided by his faith, Prakash is a servant leader and involved in a myriad of local organizations. His church, Thrivent Financial, Jail Chaplains, Nodak Insurance, City of Fargo Renaissance Zone Authority, Fargo Public Library, and the Kenyon Mission Board. Prakash is called upon to speak on topics ranging from leadership and servant leadership to organizational change and the planning processes. He authored We Are Called to Do the Right Thing, a book highlighting personal insights and lessons he learned during his career. Nominee Prakash Matthew.
It's easy to nominate Prakash Matthew for this award because he's just done so many things in our community, not only in the community, but in NDSU as well. He's made a major impact on so many lives that I've seen over the years. It's not even hard to think about nominating him for this award because he's so deserving. And he would say he's not. He's so humble. He just has a great personality to him. He does it the right way. He has a strong faith. He has a strong family. He loved his jobs, and he's still helping people, speaking all over, written a book to do the right thing. I mean, you just go on and on. There's not enough time to talk about all the great things that he's done.
Lana Rockow. Lana grew up in Buffalo, North Dakota, and earned her bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of North Dakota. She began her teaching career at Franklin College and then at the University of Illinois before earning her PhD in Communication Cultural Studies. Lana was a professor and researcher at the University of Wisconsin, Parkside. She returned to UND until her retirement from education. While there, she established the Center for Community Engagement. In 2018, she moved to West Fargo and has worked to focus on local. Lana was appointed to the West Fargo Planning and Zoning Commission and was involved in the Knight Foundation Civic West project to encourage engagement and to serve as an information hub and to function as an umbrella for programs such as AARP Livable Community Initiative, which focuses on transportation, walkability, connecting seniors, housing, etc. Lana is active in her political party, encouraging others to be involved. She has published a book on the life and teachings of philosopher John Dewey, whose thoughts on communication, democracy, and community have been the underlying theme to all I've done. She considers herself lucky to have been able to work at things she is passionate about. Nominee, Lana Rockow.
And I nominated Lana Rockow, and she is a resident of West Fargo. She's married, and she's a retired professor from UND. And she is very active in the community. She just finished a session or term with the Planning and Zoning Commission in West Fargo. She's doing some research as a professor, and she does publication of her research then too. I just would like her to continue doing the things she is doing because many in the community have receive results of things that she does. Keep up the good work. She's doing a great job.
Nominee, Linda Sandy. Linda was born in Williston and moved to West Fargo as a second grader. She graduated from the Cheyenne River Academy and attended Union College. Linda worked as a receptionist and bookkeeper before joining DeLandrese's Herbigers, where she worked for 13 years. She was office manager for several businesses until her retirement in 2011. She embarked on a volunteer career, delivering Meals on Wheels for 11 years, and then learned about helping other people with their taxes. Linda finds numbers challenging and thrilling, so she completed an IRS certification program and has provided assistance to people with their taxes through the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program of the Lakes and Prairies Community Action Partnership. Her work has helped countless taxpayers get a free and accurate tax return, which helps keep many families above the poverty line. Linda appreciates that she and the others helping with taxes work as a team, and she is often a mentor to other volunteers. Her mother was influential in Linda's life as a living example of what she strives to be. Linda says, "I'd be a kid all over again if she could be my mom." She claims her work hasn't been exciting, but it's been fulfilling. Nominee, Linda Sandy.
CapLP decided to nominate Linda for this award because we do a volunteer tax site every year. Linda has helped for at least 10 years. She's our most knowledgeable and dedicated volunteer. Without her helping us, it would be a big knowledge gap. It's just so important for us to have her. I don't know how we would do this without you. The knowledge that you offer, the confidence that you bring to us, just all of the hours that you put in. So I would thank her dog lot too for giving up time with her.
Nominee Delray Williams. Delray earned her degree at Minot State University. She owned and operated her own accounting firm, but sold the practice to teach for a short time. She returned to accounting with a local firm and retired at age 50, believing you can't know things without doing things. Delray got busy with community service. To be active in issues, one has to be involved in politics, so Delray served on the Human Rights Commission, the Health Community Initiative, Freedom Resource Center for Independent Living, Majerus Unitas, Big Brother, Big Sister program, Homeless Coalition, and the Minnesota League of Women Voters. Delray was the first woman elected mayor of Moorhead. Delray started a creative Moorhead art program that has created an outdoor museum to highlight and support local artists. Her involvement in the Christmas Shoebox Project taught her that she can do things. Delray is driven by several ideas: how Moorhead people look at Moorhead, getting more women involved in city politics, and working to get bright sky apartments for the homeless in Moorhead. Being elected mayor of Moorhead has been Delray's most satisfying achievement. Nominee Delray Williams.
My name is Donna Chapman, and I helped somebody nominate Delray for this award. Phyllis Emmel and I decided that she needed to be recognized for all the volunteer work she's done for years and years and years. She just does her volunteer work very quietly, but with such joy, just with such joy, and she's just so appreciated. Delray's going through a little bit of a tough time with a stroke that she had about a year ago, but she's working on it with her zest and love of life, and I just hope that she gets well and can get out there and do all those good works that she's been doing.
Nominee Ray Zajac. Ray owns and operates Dakota Steel Art in Manador, North Dakota. After the elementary school closed in Manador, a town of about 60, Ray saw an opportunity to help keep the town alive, and he purchased the building to house his growing company. After many renovations, Ray moved into the school building in April of '07, and he has a farm near Lidgerwood. Dakota Steel Art employs 6 people. That's about 10% of Manador. Ray is proud of his community and is always willing to help individuals better themselves or improve on an organization's ability to help others. Ray says, "God has blessed me, and now it's my turn to bless others." Through active volunteer work in his community and philanthropy, Ray supports those around him. Nominee Ray Zajac.
My name is Melissa Bassett. I nominated Ray Zajac for this award because he is an unbelievable guy. He does so much for the community. He lives to donate back to the community. He feels that God blessed him, so now it's his turn to bless everybody else. Everybody knows him in the community. Everybody. They know him with or without his famous cowboy hat. They know him as Santa. They know him just in general as being a very generous guy. I feel that Ray deserves this award because he is extremely generous. He's very loving. He's very community and family oriented. I think the qualities that Ray possesses is just get involved as much as you can, do as much as you can, even if it's not monetary, any help in the community works. Ray, I just want to say thank you for dealing with my shenanigans for the past year, just over a year, and for everything that you do for everybody you know and love.
Those are the nominees. As Sean Stuhak, president of Bethany, comes forward, let's give all of our nominees a big round of applause.
Hello everybody. It's always so interesting to hear the biographies about all our nominees and their amazing accomplishments. And each year just amazes me. But I too want to thank all of the nominees, whether you win or lose, for everything you have done and everything you continue to do to make our community a great place to live. So thank you very much. We're going to hand out the awards next, and when I call your name, if you're a winner, please come up and accept your award, and you can say a few words here at the podium. In the category of community involvement, our winner is Lana Rakow.
I don't have an acceptance speech because I certainly didn't think I deserved this. Listening to wonderful credentials of people doing so much wonderful work. All I can say is I am so honored. Thank you, Marlene, and thank you all for what you do and keep nominating and keep going with what we're doing. Thanks so much.
In the category of education and arts, our winner is Jackie Anderson.
I'm very grateful to have enjoyed doing what I have done all my life. It's been a great ride, and yes, I did have a Harley.
All right, in the category of faith, our winner is Prakash Mathau.
Thank you. There's a danger to give me a microphone, so I won't be 2 words. I might say a few words. First of all, congratulations to all the nominees out here. I'm deeply touched. I want to say something about, I want to set the stage about this whole nomination process. And this happened about a month ago. I was sitting with my wife in the living room. And she looked at me and said, I need a copy of your resume. And I thought to myself, here's my wife asking for my resume. And I said, what are you going to use this resume for? And this is a true story, by the way. And she said, well, I know you planned your funeral, and which is true. I went with my wife and my son, and we even planned the whole funeral. And she said, well, and you also told the funeral director that you will not write the obituary. So I'm in the process of writing an obituary. And so I'm not lying. And so I need your resume. And I said, well, you have access to that. In fact, you edited it. And so you should have access. You should just print it out. No, I need a copy of it. So I had to go and I said, my resume is about several pages. Can I just give you a bio? And at last I printed a bio and gave it to her. 2 days later, Erwin Vinegar took me out for coffee and said, I want to talk to you. And we often have coffee. And he all of a sudden introduced the idea. He said, well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm nominating you for the Senior of the Year award, along with Linda and Bruce and Lorraine Furness and 2 people, and then about 15 other people. And they wrote the letter. And I said, do I need to give the consent to this? First of all, what is your qualification? I said, I don't fit the qualification. I'm not old enough to. This is for old people. And I said, I don't fit into this category of old. And well, Grant Richardson called this award Senior of the Year. He packaged it, he put this in a nice packet and called it Senior. So I'm supposed to feel better. Anyway, on the serious side, I tell you, I'm deeply, deeply touched by this award. And last year, it was so much fun because we nominated Marianne Ambrust and several of us together. It was so much fun for giving than receiving. And I learned that. I think it was, and even, this is fun, but at the same time, giving is so much more fun, I tell you that. So start giving. And I want to leave you with a message about the community, because this is a community that you and I chose to live. We can all sit here and complain about all this. And if you want to be a part of this community and want to make a difference, you need to get involved. And otherwise, a lot of times we say that the things need to change. And you know that I came from India. One of our leaders, Gandhi, said, "You be the change that you would like to see in this world." And it's not only the world, the community that we live, if you want to see the change, and you need to get involved, you can make a difference. And thank you for this honor.
All right, in the category of health and wellness, our winner is Joan Justison.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Paulette Amundsen and Marianne Smith for nominating me, and thank you to the selection committee. Thank you also to Sean and Bethany for sponsoring this, and for Grant, who did all the homework, all the interviews, and accepted all the invitations. I had a great career as a nurse and in healthcare administration. It was my passion, I loved it, and I had some talent for it. But you know, and I am old, at this stage in my life, I'm having even more fun because I have the freedom to choose what I want to do. And if we have a commitment to helping in the community, it gives us a sense of purpose. I was reading that in 2007, there was a Gallup survey around the world, and it asked people, do you feel you have a meaningful life? And the country that had the most people responding positively was Liberia. And they don't have a sweet life. In fact, on the contrary. And the reason was they had a purpose in life. Their purpose was to care for each other so they would survive. And for me, I think we have that opportunity, and you all exemplify that by helping in the community, helping other people, and it is a great honor to do so. So I really am grateful for this award that recognizes commitment. And just want to tell you that I am having wonderful fun every day.
Well, I've been mentioned a couple of times. I'm Grant Richardson. I'm the Senior Executive for Development and Community Relations at Bethany, and this is kind of my gig, so thanks for coming. More than 84 years ago, back in 1939, Bethany was established. And since then, community support for Bethany has been amazing. It's helped us do what we do to meet the care needs and residential needs of seniors in our community. So the Senior of the Year program is kind of an extension of that. It's an opportunity for us to outreach into the community and salute those who've made a real difference here. You've heard the stories. Sean referred to them as winners. Everybody, at the Academy Awards, they say, it's an honor to be nominated. Well, it really is. You think about the hundreds, maybe thousands of people who could have been nominated, but the people sitting across the table from you took the time, invested the energy to submit a nomination. You make a difference. You really do. This year's pool of nominees, what a great group of nominees. Those who've been here before have heard me say this. I've got a lot of work to do to try to achieve some of the things that these folks have done. It's been a pleasure for me I take the opportunity to call all of our nominees and get a little material that goes into the program. And I told Sean, that's my favorite part of my job. The chance to sit down and visit with these people who've made such an impact in our community. So there are a lot of thank yous to be expressed. First, I want to thank the nominators. And so if you nominated somebody, please stand. Thank you so much for doing that. You know, you've taken the time and, like I said, invested the energy to do that. This event doesn't happen if we don't have people nominated, so thank you for that. Thanks to Kevin. He's been our go-to guy since actually before this event started. He was covering, I can't remember what it was, in the chapel at Bethany University. And he and I were standing in the back, and I said, I've got an idea. And he was on board from the get-go. And he's really embraced this idea, and grateful to have him as part of it since the very beginning. I want to thank our friends at In-House for the technical aspects of all of this. This event is being broadcast live, and it will be archived on YouTube. So if you want to show it to grandchildren who know how to do technology, encourage them to take a look at that. We have a number of sponsors tonight, and they make a huge difference in putting this event together. Our platinum level sponsors are Bell Bank, Cheyenne Hearing Service, and WDAY. And then our silver level sponsors are Hanson Runsvold Funeral Home, In-House Advertising, Corsmo Funeral and Cremation Service, and Thrifty White Pharmacy. Speaking of Cheyenne Hearing Service, several of them are over there. They are offering a free set of hearing devices we'll be doing a drawing from among interested nominees, and we'll do that in the next couple of days, and one of you will be receiving a set of hearing aids. So that's a great gift. Thank you to Cheyenne Hearing Service for that. Bethany Retirement Living is a nonprofit organization, and we rely on the generosity of friends and families to support the work that we do. Charitable support is tremendously important to our mission to provide living opportunities in a senior community shaped by Christian values. To that end, there are some envelopes on your desk. If you'd like to make a contribution, please encourage you to do that. And if you have questions about any of those things, I'll be available to visit about that. If you'll allow me for just a moment, a little self-promotion. Bethany Retirement Living is a finalist in 7 categories in the Best of the Red River Valley contest put on by the Forum. That's the most of any organization in the community. And that, I think, is a reflection of the trust and respect that Bethany has in the community. So I'd encourage you, every chance you get, to go to inforum.com/bestof and vote for Bethany. It's Best Retirement Community, so if I can do all these. Best Customer Service in Health and Wellness. Best Nonprofit. Best Large Employer, Best Physical Rehab Facility, Best Medical Facility, and the other one. So like I said, please do vote for us. The voting phase goes through early October, and then the winners will be announced after Thanksgiving, so we'd appreciate your support that way too. Lastly, thanks to all of you for attending tonight. The nominees, I assume, are pretty grateful for your being here. But we at Bethany also appreciate your support of the Senior of the Year program. It's a great opportunity for us to salute and recognize those of you who've made a great impact on the fabric of our community. The program continues to grow. Many of you will be hearing from me next year looking for additional nominees, so I hope that you'll keep that in mind through the year, and when you bump into somebody, say, file that away. So, looking ahead to next year, we've already set the date. It'll be on Thursday, October 3rd, right here in this room, and I hope that many of you will be back to enjoy that evening with us. One final note of housekeeping to all the nominees and recipients. We'll be taking a bunch of pictures over here afterwards, group shots, individuals, all that kind of thing, so I hope you'll stick around for that. And again, thank you for attending tonight. It's been great to have you here.